Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Shekhar Iyer as we take a quick look at what is happening in and around India. Apologies for starting a little bit late. It's all my fault, and I'll tell you why in just one moment. But before I introduce our guest of the evening, please like this video, and if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so right away. Let's welcome Shekhar Iyer. Shekhar ji, namaskar. How are you?
Namaskar, Sree Iyer ji, Namaskar. Can I congratulate you or you want to break the news?
No, you can congratulate me, sir. Guys, can you guess what this means? T-H-A.
Well, for all those non-Tamil viewers, well, Tata means grandfather. Sree Iyer has become a grandfather. That's the big news. His daughter has given birth to a very beautiful child. So wonderful news for Sree Iyer and family. We congratulate Sree Iyer. We pray for the welfare of the baby. Great news, Sree Iyer ji, great news.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'll give you a few things about him. He is going to be tall. I can tell that right away. And also his name is Arav, A-A-R-A-V. Now, if you can guess which god it signifies, please put it down in the the comment section. The first correct answer, I will put it up and acknowledge all those of you who are getting the right answer. Here we go. And Shekhar ji, let's take a look at this. Is a very dangerous thing, private sector quota, very difficult to implement. Second of all, today, if you look at, there are not many permanent employees in private sector. They are outsourcing everything as contract. They don't believe in having private full-time employees. This is how little I know. I'm telling you about what the situation is in the US. So take it over, sir, and then we will continue talking about it.
Well, Sree Iyer ji, an attempt was made by Haryana government in 2020. They brought a law which was billed as Haryana State Employment of Local Candidates Act of 2020, which mandated that 75% quota in private sector for people domiciled in Haryana, which means all private sector companies, firms which are employing anybody with 10 people or more and paying a salary close to say 30,000 per month, they will have to hire 75% of people from within Haryana. Now, this decision had come as a shock for most of the entrepreneurs in Haryana, because Haryana has industrial centers right from Gurgaon to Faridabad, and there are several places, in Haryana also. Ambala, you have Panipat, you have Sonipat. All these places are industrial areas where there are upcoming industrial zones where several entrepreneurs, businesses, and this news was some kind of because this provision had even the penalty if they failed to do so. So therefore, it was no surprise that it was challenged by the Haryana Industries Association, Faridabad Industries Association, and they called it an unprecedented intrusion. That's a petition that they moved as an unprecedented intrusion by government into the fundamental rights of the private employees and entrepreneurs to carry out their businesses. Now, Haryana government was very keen on bringing this because this was made out as some kind of an election promise, with particularly the junior partner of the BJP, that is the 𝙒𝙗𝙣 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏's party, insisting that this provision must be brought. That's how this was brought and the law was passed. And Punjab and Haryana High Court put a stay. Now, early this year, sometime in I think April, the Supreme Court, asked Punjab Haryana government, lifted the stay and said, you try to expedite judgment in this case. And the judgment has come. And the judgment says that the whole measure is unconstitutional, and the private employers cannot be forced to hire people from a particular state. And this is also a negative treatment for citizens who belong to other states who may be living in Haryana and will deprived of a chance. Now, the High Court even noted a private builder who is building, say, an apartment or flats He may need people from different, depending on the skills required. And these days, modern construction involve more than a pair of hands, because you have a lot of technology involved in building homes, in building high-rise buildings. You have to carry heavy equipment that requires a lot of high-tech stuff. Of course, there is a lot of human labor still involved. So therefore, this and you he may be looking for a best hand. I mean, who can get the work done in the fastest time. And the court particularly mentioned this. But I must remind all of us, the fact that this is not the first time any state government has done. Already there is a law in effect in Maharashtra which is 80%. In Karnataka, it is 75%. In Andhra Pradesh, it is 75% of the people who have to be hired will have to belong to that state, domicile to the state. Madhya Pradesh has 70%. Now, Telangana, they went for a different approach. They said we will give tax concessions to industries that reserve a good number of jobs for locals. In fact, all jobs for locals. But KCR government made it very clear. I think that's one of the very positive steps. He said that we will not insist on reservation on the private sector. He was very clear about it, and his son, who is Industry Minister K.T. Rao, went on record to say that look, we are opposed to any quota business. And so the problem is Supreme Court, has given at least 2 or 3 judgments regarding the domicility, application of domicility. Because initially this domicile idea came when it came to reserving seats for the medical seats. But subsequently, on the question of whether the private sector should be covered, there has been a hot debate. Now that there is a talk of a caste-based census which has to be brought in, and there is a talk of increasing the quota to 75%, because 65%, as we have seen in Bihar, has raised it. The reserved quota has gone up to 65%. If you add 10% to the economically weaker section, it becomes 75%. Now the point is there are no jobs in the government. And in the future, I don't see how government can continuously be an employment generating agency without actually doing good business. So there is a pressure mounting. There has been a debate. There are a number of people who hold up what is called a left view of things, and they say that this is only fairness. It's part of right equality that the private sector is also brought in into this quota for private sector. Now, this clamor is bound to grow, but what I'm looking at is, Supreme Court, in course of hearing this, was was ready to say, look, we are willing to consider this whole issue of reserving for the domicile sector, because there are already petitions challenging this petition challenging this kind of quota in Andhra Pradesh, in Jharkhand, and that there are other states, and so therefore they are willing to I mean, take a look at the law. They said, but provided if whether it is on Hyderabad, I mean, it is Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, and the Supreme Court said we are willing to look at a from a national perspective. But the point is that this is only one element. But how is the private sector going to resist the political pressures that are building up? And I see it building up after the next Lok Sabha elections, because all the political parties and politicians know there are not many number of jobs left in the government, because eventually the government will be withdrawing from various sectors, because that's not possible on a sustainable basis. So how is the court going to respond to such a situation? See, unless some people who are, I must say, KCR and KTR, his son, were rather practical. They said, look, we can give concessions to encourage hire more people, but we cannot insist on a law. I think they were the first to say it. Otherwise, others have not been so forthcoming, lest they are outdone by their political rivals on this issue. Shreya ji.
Thank you so much, sir. And I just wanted to add one thing. The correct name for Arav is Lord Shiva. Some of you got it right. By the way, sir, I would like to disagree with you, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I'd like to add that those of you who watched Mahabharata, remember what Bhishma used to be called to as Tat Shri. So I think in Sanskrit also Tat means grandfather, I think. I know I'm not an expert in Sanskritam, so you guys can agree with me or not. But if you remember, sir, in Mahabharata, always that name 𝙒𝙧𝙤 is how Bhishmaji is always referred to. So I think this is probably in Telugu it is Tataya. So it is Tata. So the Tat is the core word, and around that, all the other languages also, use the same name. So very pleased as punch. As a matter of fact, sir, one question. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Shreya, I just wanted to ask you something very, very personal. How does it feel to be a grandpa? I mean, what are your feelings? You have never shared your personal feelings. You've always talked about national affairs, international affairs, but a personal question. How did you feel when you saw a new member join your family?
Sir,
What exactly is the feeling?
it felt fantastic, sir. And see, the thing about all these things, no two childbirths are the same, and you go through a rainbow of emotions. Every little thing concerns you. And you want to just keep praying and praying and praying. And there was a lot of praying going on in the last 2 days. In fact, yesterday's programs I cancelled. There was other people guest hosting on my behalf, and we go through that emotion where you want to pray and hope that everything works out right. And I must say that somehow my family visit, me, my daughter, my son-in-law, and my wife, we all went to Lord Brihadishwara temple, a big temple it's called. Brihad is big again in Sanskrit. Even in Tamil Nadu, they call it Brihadishwara temple without knowing that they are saying a Sanskrit word. This is all BS. When people say that Tamil only is all BS, they know that Sanskrit is as much a part of their lives as Tamil is. So I think somehow we feel like Lord Shiva is the one who is guiding us through, and we are very, very thankful. So it's a very individual journey that each one of us must experience, especially the first grandchild. It's something very special. Thank you so much for asking that question, sir.
Beautiful, beautiful. We all, your thousands of your viewers across the globe join me in wishing you and your family and the baby all the very best in life. And may God bless you and your family. Yes,
Thank
Shreya.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, sir, three states in play for Bajpa: Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, with perhaps Telangana at a slightly lesser level. By the way, viewers, on Tuesday morning, we'll do a coverage on prospects with JBC Sriram. So stay tuned for that one. But overall, BJP has made it an issue that they must win in 3 states out of the 5 that are going to elections. How realistic is this goal?
Well, Shreya, this is one of those elections where I have seen, uh, just close to the election day, things have been dramatically changing on the ground. When the campaign started for these three elections, it was made out that the BJP is going to find it very, very tough because anti incumbency was mentioned as a very big issue in Madhya Pradesh. And in Chhattisgarh, the Congress ability, particularly its organization and deliverables on the social side, and then the manipulative skills of Congress Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel was talked about. Then, when it came to Rajasthan, it was said, despite the bickering between Sachin Pilot and the Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, Congress is going to do very well in Rajasthan, and BJP has a lot of problems because there are difficulties or differences between um, the former Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje and some of her rivals. So many of our people who did not get ticket also went out and contested as independent. Some of them are veterans, like former Assembly Speaker Kailash Begwal. So it was made out that look, in Rajasthan, Congress could still come back and break that cycle of no party repeating itself. And in Chhattisgarh, it was mentioned that Congress, in any case, will come back because BJP organizationally, in terms of leadership, is also in not in great shape. And when it came to Madhya Pradesh, it was said that people are tired of Shivraj Chouhan. But yesterday, when voting took place in Madhya Pradesh, sir, the number of women voters who turned out has given, uh, you know, goosebumps to even BJP as well as some kind of a shock to the Congress. because the women voters in rural Madhya Pradesh have seemed to have sent a message that, somewhere along, yes, there was anti-incumbency against several ministers and MLAs of Shivraj Singh government. And Shivraj Singh himself was seen as, people have seen him for too long, for almost 19 years, 4 terms as chief minister, and they were not very excited about the fifth term. But in terms of deliverables, in terms of his very popular schemes like Ladli Behna scheme, which has been hugely success, caring for the girl child. So when we saw a lot of women voters out and a good percentage, we have recorded more than 71% polling across constituencies, and the turnout of voters, particularly in terms of gender, that has given a lot of surprise for our pollsters and for people who have been watching very closely the situation. So it looks like the fight is lot tougher and lot closer than earlier thought of. The BJP seems to have narrowed the gap at several places in several constituencies, and also that the Prime Minister's campaign in the last phase, last 10 days, he concentrated. I mean, he did about 14 rallies in the last 10 days, and in all those places was mostly in tribal areas. And there are certain pockets, where BJP used to do well in tribal areas, but in the last election they didn't do well. And Prime Minister focused on those areas. And therefore, in terms of response, it looks like that the BJP could also throw up a surprise in Madhya Pradesh. That is what I am being told, though it could be a very close call. Even the last 2018 elections, Congress won 114 seats, but it was too short of a majority, a simple majority, and BJP had 109, and that brought in inbuilt instability into the scenario, and that continued. And Kamala did about a year or so, and after that, he could not manage. Rather, there were problems with people belonging who owed their loyalty to Jyotiraditya Scindia, and finally he broke away. And Priyanka Gandhi or even Kamal Nath have been, particularly mentioning Jyotiraditya Scindia as one big factor which, deprived the Congress of its full term in Madhya Pradesh. And Priyanka has gone on and said, look, BJP has been accepting betrayers, from the Congress, people who have betrayed us and gone. To which today Himanta Biswa Sharma, because she had taken his name also, and Hemant Biswa Sharma says, yes, people should betray the Congress, then only the country is safe. He is rather defending his, it is good people betray Congress because Congress means bad news. That is how Hemant Biswa Sharma has hit back at them. So coming to Chhattisgarh, sir, similarly, we have seen, just as in Madhya Pradesh, I said the last phases have seen complete change. In Chhattisgarh too, an overconfident Bhupesh Baghel, an overconfident Congress has seemed to have suddenly gone into a defensive position after revelations about Mahadev app and the payments, because the enforcement directorate came out with a statement that 508 crores were paid to people close to Bhupesh Baghel. And since then, he has been on the defensive and coming out with the usual thing that Prime Minister Modi is after me. They want to use ED against us because they can't defeat us in the elections. And I feel, well, whatever may be the result, but the consequences of the Mahadev scam is bound to continue, and it may put a question mark on the Congress leaders, even if they succeed in winning the Chhattisgarh elections. That's one. In Rajasthan, sir, it is very, very getting clear. I think the battle is gradually has become rather one-sided, with BJP finding it. The people are quite responsive to the campaign, and somehow they managed to put up a united show with Vasundhara Raje and other leaders, somehow effective. Of course, there was a similar patch-up between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot, but I'm not too sure whether it worked among the supporters. That's a big question we have to see. Well, in Telangana, we know that KCR may lose some seats, but he's still bound to emerge as, I think, the largest party and form the next government. There is very little doubts about it. Yes, the BJP could have done better, but they did mess up with changing the leaders midstream. We do not know what the reason for that, and why did they repeat a Karnataka kind of thing? Because they removed Bandi Sanjay Kumar, they brought in G. Kishan Reddy, which lot of steam was lost, Now, Congress, sir, Congress is also coming for a shock in Telangana. From what I gather, there were a lot of campaign. They started with overconfidence. They felt a lot of people were leaving KCR's party and coming to the Congress. But they realized at the last minute, in number of districts, their organization was defunct. Consequently, even if there was a mood for a change, the Congress candidates as well as Congress party itself was finding it that enthusiasm of a cadre to reach to the voters and get the voters to come and cast vote in their favor is missing. Therefore, let us not be surprised if the outcome on November 30th, the outcome of the polling on November 30th is going to again give a third mandate to KCR. Because, and the only question will be, who is the second party? Is it the Congress or the BJP? Well, if the BJP comes as second, after KCR's BRS party, well, it would have redeemed itself, saying that despite all these changes, at least we are still reckoned as the real opposition. But if the Congress, rather, it looks like the Congress will emerge the second largest party after the BRS, in which case I think BJP will have to do more than soul searching. Sherji.
Thank you so much, sir. I have lawnmower running in the background for some. I had muted myself. Sir, one question. Chhattisgarh, any Modi magic there?
Well, he has been focusing on the issue of corruption. He did openly talk about the Mahadev app and how top Congress leaders are involved and how payments have been made, and which really put Baghel on the defensive. And every time, sir, Prime Minister has gone hard, made hard-hitting speeches. Congress leaders have been rather very, very worried because they tell me, that no matter what the Prime Minister says, it does have some effect on the voters. So they have been worried about the Prime Minister's last leg campaign in Chhattisgarh, just before the second phase was completed. So, of course, Chhattisgarh is still a place I would say Congress will definitely do better than BJP because the last 5 years, the BJP has not been able to, throw up a new leadership. That is why they had to bring back Dr. Raman Singh, and Raman Singh himself was made to, was told to contest at the last minute. I do not know how much of impact it will make, but one thing is coming clear, sir. This Mahadev app will put a question mark on Bhupesh Baghel if he is going to start a second term, because I do not know how long he will last. And then what about the chance of his deputy, T.S. Singhdev? Because Singhdev has been waiting in the wings for a long time, and I do not know what will happen because if the case against Bhupesh Baghel, assuming that Congress wins elections, gets a second term, and Bhupesh Baghel, because earlier it was agreed that 2.5 years Bhupesh Baghel would do, and next 2.5 years Singhdeo would be the chief minister. But Bhupesh Baghel refused to, concede, and he refused to leave the chief minister's post and rallied his MLAs before Delhi when he completed almost 3 years, and then he did the whole thing. So I do not know how Singhdeo can be compensated because Singhdeo is not as aggressive as Bhupesh Baghel. He is more of a gentle soul. So I do not know how assertive he will be. But then what we are seeing is the Congress in Chhattisgarh is going to face some crisis of sorts because how, even if it wins elections, the kind of thing, the situation that will throw up, that will be a challenge for the Congress leadership. Share.
So much, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. We always think that elections should go in a certain way, but the voter has his or her mind of her own, and especially state assembly elections, it's mostly fought on regional issues, sometimes even an issue pertaining to their constituency or even their village, and it's good performance, like for example coming through with their promises, is a necessary condition. It is never a sufficient condition. That's what India's voters have proved time and again. So we'll have to wait and see and accept whatever it is that they say as the verdict. Sir, you brought up some very interesting things, especially about the BSR party. Very impressed, in the sense that they kind of know they need to be pro-business, and they also know that they need to make sure that their vote bank stays with him. I have a real doubt, and I'm going to ask you this question and then we'll go on to the next topic. I have a real doubt that MIM is now also probably worried whether its flock, which they call as their vote bank, 10 to 15% is going to stay with them, or if Congress is going to take the Muslims away. Because I can tell you from experience, I've talked to many people, not this election, but during my visits, people talk. So we ask, hey, listen, how much did OIC give you for voting for MIM? क्या साहब कुछ भी पैसे नहीं देते. This is the answer. He thinks that he has his vote bank and they are going to vote for him because Islam khatre mein hai. I mean, it's not, especially if there are so many successful, Muslim entrepreneurs. You apply your mind, you have brains, God has given you brain. You apply your mind, you'll be successful. Never a doubt in that. So I have a feeling that Congress could pull the rug from under OIC's feet, because OIC has been taking pot shots at Congress. So
Indeed, I will agree with you, Sherji, because OVC has been seeing the threat of the Congress, right from Congress success in Karnataka. Because Karnataka was a big eye opener for all these parties who have considered Muslims as their traditional votes and votes that will never go away from them. And today, MIM faces a challenge. Of course, there are hardcore supporters in the old city for MIM. They are not going to, dump MIM and, vote for the Congress. But they are also looking at a scenario where an average voter who was voting for MIM, particularly say outside Hyderabad areas, would be tempted to think of the Congress as an alternative, because where he is unhappy with an MIM sitting legislator or the candidate, for him the earlier there was no choice, but now there is a choice. Now, will he pick up somebody outside MIM? Now, in which case, because this is a worry for KCR also, because all the time they have been worried was if a repeat of Karnataka happens in Telangana, which is what the Congress has been hoping for, and then that will it will set alarms bell ringing even in Uttar Pradesh. Already Akhilesh Yadav has made enough noises to make it very clear that the attempt of the Congress is not for a broad alliance against the BJP, but rather to eat into our own base, by way of an OBC card, or and I would say not or, and trying to attract the minority votes which are with us today. Because if the minorities are convinced that it is a BJP that is going to, it's the Congress that is going to challenge the BJP in a big way at a national level, there could be a shift of votes. That is what the Congress has been hoping for. But it is also disturbed the regional parties. So it is quite possible. And of course, we have also seen, the role of, because in the Congress, the Revant Reddy style of functioning has come in for criticism. Many Congress leaders in Telangana tell me this Revant Reddy has been given a free run by Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, and Priyanka Gandhi. He has put up his own candidate, so many people have left also. Some of our choices are quite horrible choices. They cannot win. Therefore, we have lost a winning situation. This is their complaint against Revant Reddy. And of course, OBCs have also managed to get ticket, but some OBC leaders left Congress and joined BRS. Sir, BJP has also been, I would say, emphasizing on the OBC card, because Amit Shah was first to declare that if the BJP is in a position to influence the formation of the government, then we will root for a OBC chief minister. And continuing with that efforts that the Prime Minister made last time, Home Minister Amit Shah, who was in Telangana to release the BJP manifesto, he also met a lot of these Madiga leaders. And the Prime Minister had attended one of their rallies, and he also gave them assurance that Center would definitely help in the matter, trying in the subcategorization, because the matter is before the courts. And Madigas have been demanding that, because they account for more than 50% of the scheduled castes, uh, and they feel that they are being cornered by better off malas. So they have been seeking assurance that there should be subcategorization. Now, Prime Minister is in principle has told them that the government is willing to listen to the grievances of the sections within the reserved quota who feel marginalized, because the dominant groups are benefiting. So I do not know how much of impact it will have, the Mahadika factor, but definitely there is an OBC element, and which Congress also tried to play, because Congress has also been trying to look at this factor. But the pumpkin of these elections in Telangana is Sharmila. Sharmila, started a party, went about campaigning, made a lot of news. I mean, she got a lot of traction, but then last minute she tried to have a deal with the Congress, but then Revanthi Reddy said nothing doing. She can merge her party into Congress, and we are not going to accommodate her. Then she was advised to focus in Andhra and take on her brother, which she refused, saying, "My mother has brokered a peace formula under which I work in Telangana, and my brother took after Andhra Pradesh." And she did try to say that KCR has done a lot of bad things for Telangana. His family has made a corruption into a cottage industry and things like that. And one more development, sir, relating to Telangana is BJP lost that Vijay Shanti, the leader, actor who has been with the BJP for a long time. Somehow I think she felt lost in all this, because otherwise she was one of those faces of BJP in Telangana, earlier in the undivided Andhra Pradesh also. She has been there for more than 2 decades, but somehow she left BJP and she was warmly welcomed. She has been even made some chairman of some campaign committee.
By who, sir?
Vijay Shanti, the actress
No, no,
Vijay
no.
Shanti.
Which party welcomed her? Which party
Congress,
welcomed?
Congress,
Sir,
Congress.
sir. This lady used to be with the KCR when they were fighting for separate state of Telangana. And there are some other stories which we will not go into. I have watched some Telugu channels. Those of you who speak and understand Telugu can go and look at KCR early days. You know Vijay Shanti and KCR. There's the stories. So she was with BSR. Then she jumped ship to BJP. Now she has gone to Congress. Sir, rolling stone gathers no mass, in my opinion. And look at Jayaprada. Jayaprada has been with so many different parties. She was in Samajwadi Party for a long time. Then BJP, and BJP tried to put her up against Azam Khan. No cigar, sir. You have to have a little bit beyond just that cinematic charm. There's something more needed. I don't know. Jayalalitha had that. Sir, Jayalalitha was an excellent writer. Many of you may not know this years. See, what happened was she had a personal tragedy. I'm not going to go into that. To get her out of that personal tragedy, a good friend of hers, which was Cho Ramaswamy, also known as the founder of Tughlaq, he said, "Why don't you start writing? Because you are so well read about the politics of Tamil Nadu." So she started writing articles. And you read those articles. I'm talking about maybe late 70s, early 80s, when she was still finding her feet within the ADMK organization. Excellent thought that came out there. It's a different matter. She became corrupt and finally she was convicted. These things happen. That is par for the course for politicians. But what I'm trying to say is that extra edge, I don't know, sir. I don't even think Hema Malini has a little bit. That's why she's able to win Mathura again and again. I'm just being very, very, very brutally frank here and brutally fair here. Does Jaya Bhaduri have? No. Does Jayaprada have? No. And I am afraid I put Vijay Shanti in the same bracket. In fact, Vaijayanti Mala also, I don't think she did much for the South Chennai constituency where she was elected, I think, more than once. My read, sir, you can agree with me or disagree with me, and then we can go to questions. Oh,
Sir,
actually, there's one more topic. One more
yeah,
topic also. Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
No. The point I'm trying to make is, these people leaving the party. I mean, the very fact that they're leaving the party means somewhere along, they have lost relevance to the party, or party has lost relevance for them. Otherwise, these are very directly proportional to their importance but the BJP in Telangana has undergone a lot of churn. That's an important point. Of course, Vijay Shanti going to Congress, what difference she will make there, I do not know. And given her age, and she may not have that cinematic popularity. Yes, yeah, she started out with Talli Telangana Party, then she came to BRS. Of course, in between, she was in BJP also, 98 to 2005. Again, from 20 to 23. I mean, she has come and gone. But definitely, somewhere along, the perception is that in Telangana, BJP could have done better, and BJP could have strategized better. What is the reason why the BJP did not make Telangana fight more tactical or more serious than, because changing the leadership mid course, because till then the impression was that the party is going to give good fight to Telangana. But I think, as we discussed last time, somewhere along probably the BJP leadership felt that if the KCR survival is also good news for BJP, rather than Congress winning another state in the south after Karnataka.
Sir, there are two things, sir. One is that reason. The other one is I think Modi may feel like he has the KCR, the BRS party on a leash. He can always yank it because of the Kavita Rao problem in Delhi liquor excise. I think that is the other reason. So he says, okay, between the two, I would prefer this guy, because even if he tries to get out of the box, I can always control him. My 2 cents, sir. Let's go to the last topic. Sir, Gumnam, unknown men. Sir, this is something strange that is happening there. So some people say, and I'll frame this, that the IMF loan was given contingent upon ISI cleaning house. How true is this, sir?
Well, the Pakistan had to make a promise to that Financial Action Task Force, FATF, that they would act on the terror networks, they would break down, they would curb money laundering, drug trafficking, uh, which are the main money spinners for these terrorist groups. They promised that. That's why IMF and started engaging with the Pakistan government. Because earlier, whenever their case for financial assistance went up to the IMF governors, the problem there was the issue of terrorism and Pakistan's role in aiding and abetting. State-sponsored terrorism came in the way of the donors willing to risk more money for Pakistan. So since then, you have seen that they have tried here, but something has been happening in Pakistan, sir. We have talked about it. We have also talked about this in reference to Canada, where some of these men terrorists, designated terrorists who are wanted by India, who have taken shelter in Canada and in Pakistan, who are nurtured by Pakistan, they have been falling prey to assassins. And there is a pattern. At least in Pakistan, we have seen in the last 2-3 months more than 12 people who are wanted by our agencies for acts of terror. They have been getting killed one after another. And Pakistan is not talking about it. In case it were to come out and speak of these leaders who are getting killed, and some of these people are associated with Lashkar-e-Taiba, some of them with Hizbullah Mujahideen, some are with Jaish-e-Mohammed, or some of these are with the Khalistani groups. So, but Pakistan is not talking about it. Officially, there is no word on why these men, falling prey to motorcycle-borne gunmen who are knocking out one after another all those men who have led all these terrorist groups, Islamist groups, and who were involved in strategizing, masterminding some of the acts of terror like Pathankot attack. Some of them were involved even in the Mumbai attack, in masterminding Mumbai attack. Now, these people are getting killed. 12 of them have died, and it's very interesting. And these are very senior, handlers of these groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. And there is a pattern. The pattern is, as I said, unknown armed men come riding in motorcycles and just kill them, shoot them dead. And of course, reports from Pakistan say that officials are not willing to talk about it, but they suspect some hostile country is organizing all these killings, and these killings are being done by a network which is being manipulated from Dubai. I mean, hinting that some external forces are operating from Dubai who are giving directions to these local assassins. Now, this is, I do not know whether these killings are on Trudeau's mind when he said, look, This is what is happening in Canada also, that somebody is bumping them off as if they were such prized assets that Canada, taught them as a great loss to them, because these are all terrorist gangs involved in drug trafficking, and they have a lot of this inter-gang warfare. But the pattern, the very pattern looks at it, says that, and of course, as I said, Pakistan has not said a word, has downplayed these incidents, and those incidents are being reported officially as killing of some clergymen, because since most of these terrorist leaders have a prefix Maulana, so they are told as they are religious leaders who are getting bumped off, and people say that Pakistan's silence on these matters also have to do with this, IMF loan and financial action task force. Because if they were to come out and say that these are the leaders who belong to such a terrorist group, they have got killed by some external agencies, that would be Pakistan, actually acknowledging that these people are present, and that they are getting knocked off is the second part. But the fact that Pakistan has nurtured them would get very much established. So, and some of the, and none of them, have been identified as people wanted by India. Because look at this, names: Maulana Rehman Ulle Tariq. He belongs to Jaish-e-Mohammed, and he's considered a close aide of Mohammad Azhar. And this Tariq was shot dead in Karachi on November 30th. You had another former Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist, Akram Khan. He was supposed to be heading the recruitment cell, and he was shot dead in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, belt on November 9th. Then on November 5th, you had Khwaja Shaheed, who was kidnapped, and his body was found beheaded in the close to line of control, but in the Pak-occupied Kashmir. And this man was wanted in that army attack on Indian Army camp in 2018, which was before the Pathankot attack. And then you have characters called Shahid Latif. He's again a Jaish-e-Mohammed operator. He was shot dead in Sialkot. I mean, the list goes on. There are about 12 of them. All of these men were wanted by India, and they are just dropping dead. And this is a very, very mysterious development. Well, as far as our security agencies are concerned, they have been looking at ways to lay their hands on them, and they would not be shedding tears for whatever is happening. But definitely, I think we are seeing that the terrorist groups operating out of Pakistan are beginning to realize that they are facing a lot of threats to their own life in Pakistan, either due to gang warfare, or maybe because the deep state in Pakistan finds them of no great use and is bumping them off because their purpose has been served, and they could be dangerous for Pakistan in future. This could be one good reason, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think the person you mentioned who was bumped off was the one who had a hand in Pulwama, I think, 2018.
Yeah, the Pulwama attack.
Right? Yeah. So, well, I think this is all. There's also a saying, right? You can run, but you cannot hide. This is also a message that you think you are safe in Pakistan. Well, we don't think so. And this is also a use and lose policy. This is what happens when somebody hires you to do their contract killing. You basically meet the same fate. Unfortunate, but that is the reality of life. Sir, let us take some questions if you don't mind, sir. We are 44 minutes into our program. Viewers, only 1/3 of you have actually liked this program, of those who are joined. Could you please consider liking this video to make it get more traction? Thank you so much. Let's go with the questions. Pavan Kishore wants to know, BJP allowed ayaram, gayaram into the party in Telangana when the party was in rising. They created ruckus and made sure Sanjay was removed as leader. They all left BJP. Was this plan to down BJP?
Well, it looks like they came in as a Trojan horse, but I'm not sure of that, because initially it looked like the BJP was really doing well, getting a lot of traction, and they probably thought they would get a lot of say in the new BJP. But the problem of BJP Telangana was there are too many leaders. Whenever the prospects are good, you have too many leaders coming in. The people who have already been in the party for a long time resent the newcomers, and the central leadership finds it difficult to find a role for each of them, make them sit together and work out the things, because that's a problem for the BJP. And maybe they I don't think they came with the purpose, because most of the Telangana leaders, no matter which party they belong, they are all self seekers. They move from here to there or there to here, looking for their own space, because when it comes to financial resources, none of them ever run short of it. They have the money, they need a party, they need a party symbol to contest. If they find that things are not rosy here, they are willing to move to any side. And that has happened. Because even KCR himself encouraged a lot of people to leave Congress and come to BRS or TRS then. And then some of them went back to Congress. In between, you had people coming from TRS to BJP also. Of course, I don't see any people leaving BRS to go to Congress, BRS to go to TRS, but many of them left from the BJP to go to Congress.
Everything is about reading the tea leaves, sir. In my opinion, everything is about reading the tea leaves. Certainly, the stunning victory that INC got in Karnataka makes the Congress in Telangana to feel like they can repeat the same thing. They are not understanding that they have not been in power for a long time. And Revanth Reddy may be a dynamic person. In fact, he probably got into the good books of Rahul Gandhi because he underwrote part of the expenses of Rahul Gandhi in America. I mean, you saw him alongside Rahul Gandhi in posters in the East Coast, Washington, D.C. and New York City and so on and so forth. So we knew that Revanth Reddy was becoming or trying to become the DKS of Telangana. Where does he have the money? I looked at his profile. He had been, he has been in several parties. He has gone here, there, everywhere. And but he has not even been a minister as far as I know. And it's like an obscure person that they have picked. That means there is a money lobby behind him that is essentially making him to do all these things and spend money like there is no tomorrow. Whether the Congress can repeat its Karnataka magic in Telangana remains to be seen. But clearly there was some mixed messaging. Like, for example, Sir Bandi Sanjay, one of the problems that are laid at his door is that he does not have good connect with the grassroots worker in Telangana. That is the challenge that Kishan Reddy does. So these are the contrasts, sir. So basically what the party may have felt, and I'm not a party person, I'm not apologizing for BJP, I'm just telling you what the party may have felt. That unless you can connect with the grassroots worker and make him do his job, which is booth management, getting the BJP, pro-BJP voters to come and vote XYZ, all the three or four things, Panna Pramukhs, right? Unless you do that, you're not going to win. So this is the logic that appears to have been used. Also, there is another problem. This is a rising star called Itala Rajender. Again, this man has gone to many parties. He was last in BRS. And why did he quit there? Because he saw there is KCR, there is KTR, there is Kavita Rao, then there is Harish Rao. Oh my God, he said, okay, my turn, not in my lifetime, right? So this is the way he thinks. These are all good people. I'm just telling you, there are few opportunities. So this is where I think when things went. Sir, you can chime in and then we can go to the next question.
Sir, I just wanted to add a point. But Congress also has come in for a shock. When they started out, they felt, they are they are the fancied ones who are going to unseat KCR. But many central BJP leaders who went to Telangana, central Congress leaders rather, they discovered at the very last minute that, look, despite some kind of an anti-KCR mood in many parts of Telangana, the Congress organization is missing, sir. So now they realize, with all that they created about Revanth Reddy and way he went about giving tickets and all that, finally when it came down to getting the voters, moving the voters to vote for Congress, they have discovered that the organization is not existed in many places. The neglect of the organization, Congress organization, could be a very big factor why that despite no great way for KCR, the Congress could not do anything to him. Sir.
My apologies. Next question, please. Next question, please. Akash wants to know, will Telangana be a hung assembly? Will BJP win by a thin majority in Madhya Pradesh?
Well, the second part, that there are good possibilities that BJP could, just about get a simple majority. There is a good possibility because they have managed to put up a very tough fight. And in case of a hung assembly in Madhya Pradesh, then it will be, anybody's guess, because Kamal Nath is also equally resourceful, and BJP will not easily let go an opportunity to form the government. So that is the story of Madhya Pradesh. Now, will Telangana be an assembly? Well, I do not think so. I do not think so. That KCR numbers could go down, but still about he may have enough with a simple majority to form the government.
Next one, please. Ustad Tweetuddin Khan Chanchad wants to know, do you trust Modi government to handle any violence resulting from Yogi's action on halal food? Or this would lead to a big anarchy and risk BJP's coming back to power in Lok Sabha 2024?
Well, this is about the UP government decision. Now, it has asked officials to examine whether all the foods that are being sold in Uttar Pradesh has got this halal certification. So what the Yogi government wants to say is, look, you can have halal certification when you are, selling food to the community. But why should all the food should have carry these labels? Now the manufacturer's view is that, look, we make food for exports also, and some of them are intended for Dubai. Now halal applies only to the non-vegetarian food. I mean, not for other products. But then most products are having this label because the manufacturers of these various products, edible products, are actually carrying that halal certification because they think that some of these can be diverted to exports in case there is a glut in the domestic market. I mean, this is the practical reasons that are being given. But it has become an issue in Uttar Pradesh because there is a feeling among a large section of consumers that why should we be forced to buy a product that has a label saying this is halal certified? Because halal certification, and it is applying to all the products. They find the label in, because halal is essentially about meat, the non-vegetarian food, not for all others. But it seems that the label is their standard label. Like, I mean, this controversy arose in other places also, and the same reason was this, because a lot of this is marked as consignment for, which could be made into consignment for West Asia, where Dubai markets. So this certification helps, but they are not willing to say that, look, these, I mean, here market earlier, I mean, right from before they enter the domestic market, that these are meant for exports and they could carry that label. But in Uttar Pradesh, it was snowballing into an issue, and Yogi thought that unnecessarily a communal issue should not be injected because people are resenting it. The fact that, when they go to the supermarket and they pick up something and it says it's halal, because it has nothing to do with being halal. I mean, those products are not even uh, need those kind of classification. So why put label in all the products, and why should all consumers be forced to buy them with the label?
Sir, Shekharji, I'm going to read the next question and then I will step away for a few minutes. If I'm not back before you are finished answering the question, feel free to read the next question also. There are 3 or 4 questions left. I just need to run out for just 1 minute. Let's have the next question, please. Chaitanya Takle wants to know, will pilot part ways with Congress? I leave it to you, sir. Thank you.
Sachin Pilot, I mean, there was a time for him to do that, but he didn't do it. And I don't know why he decided to have a patch up with Ashok Gehlot, which was brokered by uh, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi, because Priyanka Gandhi had earlier assured him that let things cool down, we will make you Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Because as PCC president in the last elections, it was Sachin Pilot who spearheaded the Congress campaign. But after the elections, it was again Ashok Pilot who was back. And Sachin Pilot, as a deputy chief minister, found it very difficult to function under Ashok Gehlot, and found those promises are whatever was promised to him and his group, they were all written in water. And Ashok Gehlot was not willing to accommodate his group at all. And finally, there was a rebellion of sorts. He took his MLAs, went to the BJP ruled Haryana, but then he realized that he did not have enough number to pose a direct challenge to Ashok Gehlot, but enough to unsettle Ashok Gehlot. Since then, Ashok Gehlot has been gunning for Sachin Pilot. There was some now this brief patch-up that has come. That too, when close to the elections. So I do not know how this is going to make big difference. Now, Sachin Pilot, I cannot see he had a time to leave the Congress. Right now, well, after the elections, he may be hoping that it is Ashok Gehlot who will bid goodbye to electoral politics, and then he will get a chance. He can play a role as a leader of the opposition in Rajasthan. Next question, please. Well. Tomorrow it's about the World Cup. Everyone in India expects India to win, and there is a grand event already been worked out for tomorrow. You're going to have aerobatic aerobatic shows. You're going to have cultural shows in between breaks for this great event happening at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be there. So will be the Australian Deputy Prime Minister. I'm told it's going to be a one big sporting event, and with millions of cricket fans glued to the television sets to know the outcome. So the question is, everybody expects India to win, and that is a time I think we have to all be very careful, because this is after all a cricket match, and Australians are known to perform under tremendous pressure, unlike other teams. Normally, given the kind of pressure any other team would be facing against India at the finale. Now, if you look at others, I think Australians are better placed because they are known to take pressure and they never show it that they are under pressure. This is one of those unique qualities they have. So, therefore, I think a match is a match, a final is a final. Well, everybody is betting that India will walk with it. And in fact, the Prime Minister's presence of other leaders, of course, similarly, Manmohan Singh had once gone during the World Cup thing, went to watch a India-Pakistan match, which was being played in Punjab, if I remember.
Mohali,
And
2011 semi-finals with
yeah,
Pakistan.
semi-finals he had gone. So Prime Minister going itself is not a great indicator of the outcome. But definitely, if the Prime Minister is there and India wins the match, he'll be right there in person to congratulate them. And who knows, he may be asked to even hand over the cup. That's what people are saying. And some people are asking, why is Prime Minister going there? There is already a lot of political halchal over Prime Minister, presence in Ahmedabad. But sir, this time they have made it out. I am told there are going to be a lot of intervals. Those intervals will see some breaks in terms of cultural events. And it's one big tamasha tomorrow with a lot of excitement.
Well, I'm not going to say anything about cricket anymore, so nothing will surprise me. Next question, please. Vignesh Prabhu, thank you so much. To some extent, job for locals is good. Other than Hindi belt, this worked out well with the electoral process. Even in Bihar, recent domicile relaxations backlashed.
Well, sir, this is because the political parties have not been able to, particularly in the state, they have not been able to create the condition where more people will come and make investments, and then so that the locals will get more opportunities for jobs. So what has happened is the COVID also has brought a lot of pressure, and post COVID has seen even during the end of COVID, many people had lost jobs. So, and states like Haryana, which were largely in agricultural communities, are now looking at jobs, particularly the Jat community, for instance. They have land, and but the income from farmlands have been falling. So therefore, their children and their youths are looking for jobs, and that is why this 75% thing was brought in Haryana. Similarly, other states have been doing. But then jobs are about all job market is also about demand and supply, and also about skills. Now look at the situations here. Southern states, particularly, whether it is Kerala or Tamil Nadu, a lot of workers are from Bihar and from Assam, who are working in farms. because the local labor is not willing to do that job or has migrated to some other cities. So this is a kind of demand and need situation. But private sector will always resist a regulation of this kind, because public sector has to see that the business, their investments do not result in a situation, because they are not in the business to provide jobs. Yes, they have a social obligation, they have a social responsibility, but the primary job is to run a successful business. So that is something you cannot take away from them, and I don't think courts can enforce it. But the clamor for reservation in the private sector is bound to grow in the coming years, because the government jobs are drying up. There are no jobs in the government. Only the quotas are going up, but jobs are coming down.
Next question, please. Neta Mafia wants to know, isn't fake voters ID road during Youth Congress election in Kerala a national security issue? Congress can do this in 2024 election too by using the same app. Is this a Kanugolu strategy?
Sir, Konogulu is being blamed by Congress leaders for Telangana, because he was handling the Congress strategy for Telangana. They thought after success in Karnataka, where he already enjoys the minister's rank, they said Konogulu has let the party down because his formula did not work in Telangana. Because in Karnataka, there was an organization to work out those strategies, whatever Konogulu advised the party. Because DK Shivkumar was as a KPCC chief, and 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙪, these are two veteran leaders, they have a network to effectively implement plans. But Konogulu, Telangana has come as a huge failure for Konogulu. This is what I am told by our Congress friends. Now, this fake ID row, I mean, these kind of controversies we are continuing to see. And of course, the whole idea is, whether people who are not citizens of India, who have managed to seek in, they managed to obtain Aadhaar card, they obtain even PAN card, then the election card, voter card, and we have been talking about even the Assam foreigners issue. The identification of foreigners, the deportation of foreigners. These are such cumbersome processes where you need to be vigilant, because if you are going to have ghost voters, if you're going to have, sir, that is why this linking of Aadhaar, election card, all this was resisted by these parties. There was a big resistance saying, why should Aadhaar be linked with voter card? Because in that case, you could have eliminated a lot of people with bogus card, because with Aadhaar you cannot have 2 or 3 voters card, because one card is registered, finished. The resistance from parties to any scientific way of eliminating these bogus ones is also an indicator how some parties are rather dependent on such type class of voters.
Next question, please. Sir, we have a couple questions left. Let's rifle through them quickly because we're already 1 hour, 3 minutes into the program. Avinash Kumar wants to know, BJP should find serious progressive state leader in Rajasthan like Modi of Gujarat. It's a very fertile for BJP and people want serious development like neighboring state Gujarat. Your thoughts?
I agree with Avinash, because definitely this, whatever is outcome in Rajasthan, let's assume BJP wins. Now, will Vasundhara be made the chief minister, or BJP will look new face? My gut feeling is, if BJP wins the election with a simple majority, maybe Vasundhara could be given a chance, or may not be given a chance. But definitely it will have an importance for Vasundhara. But if the BJP were to get a huge majority, then BJP could experiment with a younger leadership. This is a possibility.
Next question, please. Nitin Bharadwaj wants to know, if Congress wins Rajasthan, will BJP try to break Congress by bringing 𝗪𝙟 𝗪𝗪 to BJP, offering him a CM post?
So if Congress wins Rajasthan, can Ashok Gehlot come back? Or as Ashok Gehlot has already said that, this is my last election and all that. Maybe Congress itself will make 𝗪𝙟 𝗪𝗪 if they win the election. But at the moment, it looks like a remote possibility.
Next one, please. Ustad Pvt Khan Chancha, thank you so much. Leftist media will hype up anti-Modi narrative should India lose tomorrow in front of him. Do you think BJP can overcome such narrative?
Well, they may blame Prime Minister Modi's presence for India losing the elections. I do not know. Well,
so what does the Satta Bazaar say? What does the Satta Bazaar say?
Well, Indians are seen as the favorites.
Okay. Okay.
They are seen as favorite, but our cricket experts rather they tell me that it's not that easy. Well, Indians are in great form. They have played several matches well, and the fact that India has come to this position. But I was checking with somebody, after talk, whether everything is being made to ensure that Indians win the World Cup this time. Well, I'm told it's not so, because Indians have really played well. It's not that easy, and some of the teams they have defeated. It just so happened that this time Indian strategies have worked out well, both on the field uh, and as well as in scoring. So therefore, there are no doubts about Indians' ability and the expertise that they have shown. But at the same time, a match is a match. Australians are no easy, and of course, many people were happy that it's an India-Australia tie. Finals.
That brings us to a close of today's episode with Shekhar Iyer, and we will be discussing this after the match. By the way, you want to watch PVR Narasimha Rao's prediction about the final that came last week, and we will try to post that in the description section, the link. So if you want to really know what his prediction was, you do watch that one. Shekharji, thank you so much, and viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.
Namaskar, and Sree Iyer ji, once again, congratulations and our best wishes to Arav. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much.